going to controlling your brand online. Kind of want to talk about my rules, or I shouldn't call them rules. I hate the word rule. My reminders that I use for social media and posting on social media. Number one, this is for individuals. I try to listen with a helpful heart. What do I mean by that? I'm one who believes in paying it forward. So if somebody has a question, for instance, if any of you had a question and you sent me a tweet, I would hit you back for sure. If you give me 24 hours, I'll definitely respond. And I'm a huge advocate of Marquette. Marquette feels like my family because they gave me the opportunity and a great education. And I use these technologies to listen to others, whether it's a question about food or a question about, hey, where should I go? Or if it's just like, hey, how do I do this? If I'm an entrepreneur, I listen and I try to give feedback and help out because, again, firm believer in paying it forward, and it'll always come back to you in the end. Number two, did not do this when I went to school here. So you guys might be a leg up on me, but post with focus and have a clear understanding of the platform. What do I mean by that? Don't be drunk, is essentially what I'm saying. Don't post when you're drunk. Trust me, you will regret it. How many have posted when you're drunk? None of you have. So if I check your Facebook streams, none of you have posted when you're drunk. I find that hard to believe. But this is what I'm talking about. It's going to come back because when you guys go look for jobs, there's recruiters that are using Facebook. So as real as that is, you got to understand, that's why I'm talking about controlling your brand. Control the content you put on there. Because it's no fun. I mean, from my experience, one night I was able to relive the time that I blacked out to when I woke up through Facebook. It was awful. It was awful, but it was the truth. I wouldn't want a recruiter living that same thing because I don't think they'd think highly of me then. So you got to think about that. I mean, there's other classic examples of people not using the platform correctly. Politicians. Anthony Weiner, it's a real name. He used Twitter incorrectly because he didn't know the difference between a direct message and a public tweet. Same thing with Charlie Sheen, who accidentally tweeted his phone number instead of direct messaging it to somebody. And you got to get a new phone number. But those are just all examples of when you use these social technologies, make sure you have a clear mind and you understand the platform before you're putting your content out there. Because really, that content is all in your portfolio. That's your brand. Respect all. So, I'm one that believes in fear no one, respect everyone. And actually, one of my favorite authors, unfortunately, is Gary Vaynerchuk. And it's not unfortunate in the regard that he's a bad author or anything. He's a great author. His book, The Thank You Economy, inspired me. But I don't necessarily agree with everything he does. He's a New York Jet fan, and actually one tweet he said to Brandon Jacobs, who, if you guys aren't familiar with Brandon Jacobs, he is a huge dude. He's 6'1", 260, 270, really big guy. I think Gary might be like 5'9", $150 when he's wet. I don't know what he is. But that being said, he tweeted him and he said, hey, Brandon, shut up. You're a clown on and off the field. And I'm pretty sure if he was in person, he wouldn't say that to his face. So kind of how I view it is what you tweet, what you post, whatever, if you're going to post it, make sure you say that to somebody's face as well. So I think that's a good reminder just to reiterate. And that guy's like the king of social media, and so everybody slips up. Number 4, be original and take control of your digital footprint. So social media can be like a pool of plagiarism, and you being in college, plagiarism can be popular. But when you get outside of college, you want to control your content, and you don't want to just retweet what somebody else says unless you're sure you understand what it means and everything, because then that can be viewed on you differently. So an example of that, or example of somebody posting, is I believe Ashton Kutcher came out in the defense of Joe Paterno with the whole issue at Penn State and said, hey, Joe's a good guy, I can't believe this is happening. And he almost shut down his Twitter account because he got tens of thousands of angry people saying, what the hell are you thinking? And so Ashton Kutcher's like, whoa, and he even said, this is too powerful. I mean, these are the social technologies. It's allowing everybody to become interconnected, and it's really making the world so much smaller than it already is. So make sure you take control of your digital footprint. Stay true to you. You don't try to be something you're not. The thing that really kind of annoys me is when somebody says they're a social media expert. And I always laugh at that because social media has really only been around for like a decade or so when it's really been mainstream. And if there were true experts, there wouldn't be such controversy over social ROI or Facebook advertising actually returning benefits to companies. And so, if you think you're an expert, great. But whatever you are, just be true to you and make sure that you don't try to be something that you're not, is the point there. Also, a bonus one for individuals, I always say kill them with kindness. So their online world, people treat it differently than real world, which is unfortunate. Athletes can get death threats if they screw up. People can be very critical in the industry that I'm entering, social media. I know as a non-technical founder, I will be criticized because it's a very coders industry and developers industry. However, the likes of Pinterest founder have changed some of that thinking, but still, I know people will be critical of me, and you just never want to sink to people's level and get into nasty arguments publicly or anything like that, because again, it's your brand, and you don't want to turn anybody off by some person just attacking you, and you'll have that. And even in Facebook with college students, I mean, if people can be nasty, or if there's a relationship thing, don't have your breakup conversation on Facebook. Take it offline. So with that, now for businesses and brands, I just have some posting reminders. You want to leave no voice left unheard, and I also do this for individuals as well. It's just like, I look at social media just like I look at the phone and email and fax. You wouldn't let anything go unnoticed. So if somebody calls your business, you're not going to not answer. You're not going to not return their call. Same should be said for social media. Now, when you get to certain scales and stuff, it gets harder. But as I always say, it's all about quality over quantity. People get caught up in the industry of how many followers do I have, how many likes did I get, how many retweets did I get, and it's really not about that. It's really more about the engagement. If you have 10,000 followers and only 10 will respond versus somebody that has 100 and he can get 25 to respond, whose is better? So, you kind of weigh the pros and cons there, but leave no voice left unheard. And a great company that does that in the area is AJ Bombers. They're awesome at doing that. Actually, Sobelman's is doing a much better job as well. Honesty is the best policy in my mind, especially when it comes to business. Great example, product back orders. And I've seen a lot of people will go to social media to gripe about a business or product if it's not up to their needs. And a lot of businesses sometimes will beat around the bush or not tell it to you straight. And I always say you want to under-promise and over-deliver, and that's what businesses and brands should do. And with that, it better be straight to the customer and say, hey, look, the back order's 2 weeks, not going to get to it. We can't get it to you now. We'll give you an update when we know. That's much better than saying we think it'll come this week. And if it doesn't, you got an irate customer. So honesty, in my mind, is always the best policy. You want to act apologetic and quickly correct mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. My Ashton Kutcher example made a huge mistake because people took it the wrong way about Joe Paterno. He had to make an apology, and he corrected it. And when you know you made a mistake, just correct it. Avoid posting that causes heated emotion. This is a popular topic right now because of the political landscape. How many of you have somebody that's posted about politics on Facebook? Yeah, it's getting old, isn't it? I'm excited for this election to be over. But with that said, the things that I try to avoid just posting about in general, and this is my own experiences. By no means am I saying you guys should follow this. Just take from it what you think. But I try to avoid posting about politics, religion, or finances because those can be 3 hot topic triggers online, and they can really cause a stir. I mean, great example. Her name is slipping me right now, but it was an actress from Mean Girls who had posted something in support of a political candidate. Well, many of her followers did not like that. And a lot of her fans and even some of her coworkers that were celebrities in Hollywood did not like that. And she just got bombarded with negativity in the tens of thousands of responses. She just got torn apart. And this was from like one tweet. So you just see the power of igniting something and based on, emotional topics. You got to be careful with that. 5 here, and lastly is the lifetime value of a customer is greater than that of today. So customers, they can be really unhappy today, but they're much more valued to you. Think more about long-term than short-term when connecting on these social technologies with potential customers. And lastly, that leaves me kind of full circle back to Yappem. I'm very passionate about social technologies and how they're changing the world. And at Yappem, our team is trying to build a social platform where users are rewarded for discussing and expressing their experiences and thoughts on businesses, brands, and products. And we want to, in turn, help businesses and brands better connect to their customers because today it's an awesome day because the customers are in control. And there's so much power that customers have that businesses and brands have to look at customers as individuals now and not segments, because when you walk into Best Buy, they know that even if you're walking in by yourself, you have your cell phone in your hand, and that's very powerful because you can connect to your friends and family on social networks. You can price check on Amazon. You can do a lot of different things. So with that, these social technologies are so powerful. You all are your own brand, whether you realize it or not, and I just stress that you control your content, you control your image that you put online, and remember that everything you put online is permanent. And with that, that's all I have.